Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going through my SuperCoach round 8 team review and what a positive round it was. But before we jump into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into this video. So, as you can see, a 2467 around a rank of 8,373, which is up 10,465. And then I jumped up the rankings by 5,485 up to, or down to, I guess, you would say up, I would think in this scenario, up to 11,797. And I can tell you that I am about 200 points off of top 4K. And I think it is semi-realistic to say that, top 4,000, and I mean the top 4,000 rankings, ranked in the top 4K for round rank, and then in the top 6% for overall rank. And I think it is realistic to say that a good week here, and I could be at top 8, 7, 6K, another good week, because, I will say that Gorn did cost me 40 points. If I'd actually had dead VC, and then gone with the Gorn captaincy, you would probably be looking at me being close enough to the top 10K rankings wise. But anyway, jumping into this, and I'll actually just, when we hit the end of the video, I will give you a sneak peek of one of my trades, because one of them is the most obvious trade that I'm looking at with prior to someone else. Prior to, I believe, I'm just going to do this, double check this. And break evens. Yeah, prior to the lowest break even guy on the comp. That's the trade, one of the trades that I'll be doing. But Whitfield 111, he got through the James Jordan tag. James Jordan definitely won the matchup that between those two, as he kicked 2 and Whitfield only had 4 score involvements, which I believe 3 of them came in the last quarter. So he had a very, very poor game. I think all 4 of them came in the last quarter, showing that James Jordan got on top. And yeah, he won that matchup. Sydney won the game. And I know that people will look at the SuperCoach scoring and he went 111. That's still pretty much average. Therefore, he went through and beat the tag. He was unimpactful at all. He had no impact on the game. And then the second half, he just racked up disposals that were kind of meaningless. Like if you actually look at the, I think, meters gained for the likes of Whitfield, I think he will probably be overinflated by the fact that he had... I can't even look at it in terms of the fact that he had, what did he end up with? He ended up with only 428 meters gained, beaten out by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 other players, including James Rowbottom, who had like 14 touches or something like that. Let me actually just check on James Rowbottom. Had 14 touches, and he beat out Lockie Whitfield for meters gained, when Lockie Whitfield had 28 touches and 19 kicks. So just shows how he had an extra 9 kicks, but Rowbottom had more meters gained. Kind of crazy that. So just shows his impact on the game, but obviously take the score, and now he gets through that tag matchup. And Sinclair, disappointing, but hopefully he can turn it around. Carlton should be able to give him some points there. Dane Zorko scored like 25 points in the last 5 minutes through chipping it around, so happy enough with the 95. Not the greatest, as he's 501k and one of the more obvious trade-ins at this point. But we bought him for 115k more expensive than he is at the current point. Roberts 82. I think he's just going to bounce back. He had a really bad, poor game, I would say. He didn't really get the massive sort of 55, 60 meter kicks to a guy in open space that really he could have launched his score up, I would say. Riley Bice, a little bit annoying, but will be interesting. I'll say that Sydney with Melican, who's going to get suspended. I haven't seen him get the charge yet, but I'm expecting 2 to 3. I haven't double checked that when they dropped it, but let me just do this live for you guys. As I'm expecting him to get charged with something, but we haven't got the news. Faces a potential ban. No one's actually, they haven't handed it out yet, but they're pretty sure that he'll get 2 to 3. I expect maybe even 4. So that could open up potential moves around, swapping around. Maybe Hamlin comes back for Melican, which it could just change the matchups and help Bice out. But I think Bice is nearing the end of everything. And it is annoying because we had high hopes for him and they were almost dashed in a week. but he could easily have, he's got another week to turn it around. And if he does score, say, a 90, let's just say he scores a 90 here or something. I don't know what exactly his break even goes to. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he scores a 90 and what his break even goes to. But I don't think it's going to do too much. So he's another guy that could go in the next couple of weeks straight up to a premium. We'll just have to wait and see on that front as, yeah, we'll just see. Zach Reed, a 102, that's a massive score from him and gets his cash gen flowing again, a -3 break even in the upcoming weeks. So he will be a guy that's probably going to generate another 60, 70k you would expect just because he's gone back-to-back big scores, a 90 and a 102. So if we project, like they're projecting, he's going to make another 190, another 90k. I can't even speak. It's been a long day, but yeah, another 90k in the next 3 weeks, which would be absolutely huge. And he would be such an easy upgrade at that point. Nick Dacos, yeah, he's going to have a massive break even this week, a 165, but he does have Frio, so I would expect him to run up a tally here and go close to sort of that 140 range. Could be potential VC areas. So that is on the Thursday night, I believe. That is first game of the round. That is potential VC areas there for Nick Dacos. Zachy Merritt went absolutely bananas in the last quarter, and I'm really happy to have him. And yeah, that him going big and Zach Reed in the same game as prior with a 57, it was cash generation. And then also, who else played in that game? They played... Who did they play? They played North Melbourne, and then you had Harry Sheezer go 120. So I was sitting on like 480 after one game, and I went, oh, this is perfect. I'm going big. And then Sarong and... Sinclair both have a stinker in the same game, and you go, great, back down to earth. So yeah, if Sarong was like a Ed Richards and I'd captained Maxi Gawn, something of that manner, then this would have been the most ridiculous round for me. It would have been another, what's that, 42 plus 79 is 81, 121 points. So I would have ended on 2580. So yeah, Ed Richards is really paying out for owners of him. So Sarong's had a horrific campaign, I would think. And so yeah, he's averaging 105.1, but it's just been poor. Petrarca will probably move into the forward line in the coming weeks as he was outstanding, a 129. He looks back to his best, and he looks back to form that could be potential midfield areas, like midfield top 10 areas, which we know will be F1 areas. Then we get Dawson, and I feel like vindication. Absolute vindication for this. Let's just see if I can bring my Dawson tweet up. Let me see. Where is it here? I might even have to like look at it for the likes of Dawson. Oh yeah, I did say that I was going to put the VC on him for some dumb, and I thought that was really dumb, even though it was absolutely amazing. And then you've got, let's see how the Adelaide's midfield efficiency works in the next 4 to 6 weeks with Matt Crouch out. Let's just go to Wheelo, because that's going to show you the biggest thing that we saw in this game. So if we go here, we go to match stats. I know that they were playing Carlton, but Carlton are coming off 3 wins. Look at what they did to Carlton's midfield. They won the clearances by 8. They won the hit out by 26. Yes, 26. But what they did in the stoppages, 46 to 27, centre bounce, 33 to 7. They were too quick, way too quick. Matched it. And look at Jordan Dawson's efficiency, 86%. I'm pretty sure I put up numbers in a group chat, or maybe it was just me and Corey's direct messages here, basic on Twitter, saying something around, I think his handball efficiency was 100%. I think his kicking efficiency was 72%. Look at his last time he went 72% by foot. Last time he went 72% by foot was all the way back at his first year at Adelaide when he was a halfback. Then he transitioned in 2023 to the midfield and it went down to 65%. He just had a 72% game. That's how damaging he was. How damaging he was. And you wonder why? Because he was just able to get the ball in more dangerous positions outside of the contest because the ball was moving. The ball was moving because they had less slow midfielders, and you have to count ROB in there. but they had less slow guys in there, meaning that they could move the ball quicker, and suddenly their team looked electric, and they honestly stepped off the gas. They won the game in the first 3 quarters, that they didn't need to do anything in the last. And then from memory, they didn't do anything in the last. They kind of just let the game run off because the game was done. It was at 3-quarter time, 13 goals 10 to 5 goals 6. They kicked 3 goals 4 to 2 goals 2 in the last quarter, but they stepped off it. They stepped off it because they were up 8 goals 4. They were up 52 points at 3-quarter time. Game over. Game, set, match. Then you had Levi, 99. His cash generation has not really started again, but kind of. He's basically gained us another 20k to 40k, I would say, in cash generation, because a 70 score and he would have gone, and not really, he would have made like another 5-10k. So yeah, sort of bought us a little bit more time, I would say, in a way, because he's probably going to go 75 for the next foreseeable future, get himself up to 391k. But we were saying at 350k, he's basically maxed out. So he's gained us another 40k, basically, from that big game. And if he can go again against North Melbourne and go 95 plus, suddenly look at that, and he could potentially get to 410 if he has another big one. And he's got Melbourne, who he could go big against them, relative. Like, there is a chance he gets up to 410, but we'll just wait and see. But yeah, a guy that is going to be moved on a little bit, but we're hoping that guys like Gross, Hall, even Carroll, who's kind of on the edge of things, all those guys can get up to sort of, all we need from those Carroll, Hall, and Gross is to get into the 230s. If they can get into the 230s, 240s, then we're going to have 99kers come soon in the next couple of rounds. As mid-season draft's a little while away, but it's getting close. It's about a month away, I think. I think it's May 28th. So if we can get these guys another 60, 70, 80k, and say another 80k on Carroll, 260k, then you bought 140, if not 160k, to get down to a rookie. And if Ashcroft's 410, that's up to a 570k guy. But we're looking at guys in the 490s, 510s, 520k. It's like Dunkley, I think, is 520k at the moment, and I don't know what exactly he's 521, and he just put up if I go here, he just put up a clean 109 after 100. And so, yeah, I'm looking at Dunkley in the next couple of weeks potentially, but also I don't want to grab him this week. But yeah, I'm looking at Dunkley and potentially against Melbourne. I'm looking at Dunkley potentially against Hawthorn, but then he also comes up to this run against Essendon, Adelaide, GWS, where I think he could do really, really well. So yeah, definitely guys like Dunkley. There's other guys that we can mention. And then Xavier Lindsay, 56, a guy that he was initially in the trade outs, I will say this, but it came to light someone basically saying, did the sort of 3-game run of Matt Flynn and ran some numbers. I'll have to do my own sort of numbers and metrics and stuff like that, and risk taking, I guess you would say, to look at Matt Flynn's numbers. But Xavier Lindsay's on the cusp of being traded out. I just don't like that he's got a 14 break even. I feel like that could hurt me a little bit. Hall 187, Gross 147, and Camporelli 113 haven't played in like so long, but the numbers coming out of Waffle for Hall and Gross are really good. Don't remember what the likes of Camporelli put up in the VFL. Let me just double check for you guys. And I just want to also point out that the likes of Pitto had a really good game in the VFL against Coburg. So yeah, there's that. But if we go to disposals, we will see the likes of... Where is the Camporellis? Lucas had 18 touches. So yeah, he had an alright game, not the best game, and Ben had 17. So Lucas and Ben are sort of neck and neck, and you can see Pitnet with 16 touches, 8 tackles, and 34 hitouts, 9 clearances. How did he use the ball? I just want to check. I don't want him to be high. Please be low. Is he going to be here? No, they don't do that. Contested possession is probably where he's going to lie. Pitnet, 68% ball use. That's actually a pretty good score. Pretty good all-round display. So yeah, Pitnet is a worry. For decoding, Max Gawn, he's on record pace. He needs a 163 or something to beat the record for a 4 games run or something of form. So yeah, he's 687k with basically not guaranteed, but a high potential of him hitting 700 and something thousand. That is stupid. That is that good. And yeah, he could be I don't know when they play, but if they play early, he is a definite VC chance. Definite, just run with it, VC. Yeah, I think so. I think you run with the VC, and then you go into the Richmond and West Coast play each other. When did North play? North play Brisbane. You could go run. Don't want to go with that. Sydney's going to tag Merritt. So I'm just even thinking just on the spot here. Maybe even you go with like a St Kilda. Who do they play? They play early. Can't run there. Who else? Nick Dacos. They play early. Harry Sheasel plays Brisbane. You could probably just run it there and just say he's the backup captain after Gawn, which is the VC. That's probably what I'll do, or something similar like that. GWS against Geelong at GMHBA, that's probably not the best for Whitfield. So yeah, that'll probably be what I do, honestly, just thinking about it. But yeah, Gawn's been absolutely outstanding. Then you've got the likes of the forward line, Horne-Francis, all right. Bailey Smith, absolutely smashing it. Still don't know how Bailey Smith is behind Horne-Francis for price. McRae back to his best. Daniel, 89, so he kind of suffered a little bit, but in the end got himself up to a decent score. Or a palatable score, I would almost say. And then Elijah Hewitt, he's been massive, and the cash gen from him is going to be huge for the next couple weeks. We hope he has another big one in him, because if he can, then he gets over 300k and he starts to become very, very easy. Him and Cleary up to a primo. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They both need to make about another, you would think another 120k just to get, they currently have 510 between them. They probably need another 150k between them, but that could easily be made. I think Elijah Hewitt, if you look at his numbers here and you go 75 for the next couple of weeks, he gets to 350k at round 12, and Caden Cleary at round 12 gets to, if we put 75s as well for him, he gets to 335 as well, as they have the buy in round 14. So yeah, these two could be a trade on round 14 or so, round 15 or so, just when they hit their buy round, and then you get into one of the primos, etc., whether that be a forward or a midfielder, don't know exactly, but they're both potentially going to get close to 340, 350k by round 12. Stone didn't play, so I took Cleary because I didn't want to take prior score, and yeah, was going to take a little bit of reshuffling to get prior score. And I just didn't want that as well, especially after Sinclair's score was locked in there. I don't think I could have actually taken prior. I needed to go clear, and it didn't look good at halftime, but it was all right. And then Flynn's another guy that I just need to run some stress tests basically with him just to see the cash generation. It doesn't look the greatest. So even though he does have kind matchups, I might be an instant trade out just up to a primo like a Rankin, because it makes trading next week so much easier. I can tell you that for a fact. As Lindsay's probably going to make, let's just put a 60 in here for Lindsay, or a 65 in here for Lindsay. He makes 21k, goes up to 270. Say I'd have about 136k with Lindsay. So 136k plus Lindsay would get me up to 380 okay. Then you have, say, maybe a Carroll at that point, or a Hall, or someone like that. And that would get me all the way up to potentially, if it's like 130k, yeah, it may be a double downgrade week as well, just saying, to like a Box Shaw and guys like that at that point. So we'll just see. But yeah, that's all for this video, and we'll do all of those other discussions in the trade targets video as well. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I'll see you guys in the next one in the next couple of days, depending on my timing of everything. So I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Bye, guys.